Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks again for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick look here at Solana, seeing what's going on. Nice, decent little recovery here after that massive little wick down here. So we got some liquidity levels here we want to talk about and just an overall sense of how this is shaping up. So it does seem like the price will continue further up, and I'll explain why in a moment here. A lot of it hinges on the simple fact that we are seeing this pattern across a lot of different coins. Again, it's mainly because Bitcoin is exuding this behavior and coins are align themselves with Bitcoin, but we saw a very distinct PO3 here, essentially a power of three, where Bitcoin showed a smart money here, basically smart money accumulation, followed by a liquidity grab. And then, of course, we saw that last little manipulation there, essentially with effectively the expansion phase, right? So the price shot straight up there. So that is definitely an interesting thing here. Be sure to check that out on our Discord if you're curious, but there's a good chance we could very well be seeing the same thing here, okay? So we are right here for this next leg up. And again, the reason why that expansion phase occurs is because there's less support here. And again, it usually just sweeps this previous level here. So we'll look in the back and see if that is a possibility here. So if you're new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I do love teaching people to trade, and I hope that you can learn something here today. If you do want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site. Link down below where you can register to become, well, part of our community. Phenomenal group of folks over there too, by the way. We've got some awesome traders here with us. And again, I got some people trading underneath me too, where I send out signals for every single trade that I take. So be sure to check that out. We got some really awesome results there. In due time, of course, if you have questions, just feel free to reach out. So here, take a look at this here. 90.5, as I mentioned yesterday, strong, heavy accumulation of liquidation. They got swept pretty hard. Same thing with this $85.80. So I'm sure a lot of folks weren't expecting that. But again, as I mentioned before, that $80 to $89 range was highly susceptible to manipulation. And unfortunately, that occurred. But now here, if we see, and this is again how that power 3 works, this upper level liquidity is the next target. So $97 to $100, strong likelihood the price will sweep up to that level there to hit those shorts and to wipe them out, okay? Again, especially with Bitcoin kind of stabilizing at that 45,000 range, we're definitely looking pretty good here. You do got to recognize too, there's still some fundamentals on the horizon that could totally manipulate the market right now. So if you're going to consider taking a trade, which I'm considering, make sure it's low leverage, low position sizing, okay? Make sure you double check that and ensure you're not putting yourself in a position where you could get wrecked. Again, not really a safe place. The market is funky right now. There's no other way around it. All right, so taking a look at the daily, let's work our way down and see what's going on. Keep in mind this little X marks the spot is simply just an area of which I'm looking for confirmation, okay? It doesn't mean I'm just gonna jump in blindly because of it. It just implies that we get to that level, which we're getting close, there's a stronger chance we're gonna be able to see the price continue higher. Taking a look here at the current daily here. Well, good news is, and this is tentative for the moment, hasn't closed yet, but we can see if we get a candlestick closure at or above the current level, not only will we be testing that volume profile, but more importantly, we'd have a bullish engulfing candle. It's usually a sign of reversal. If you look here in the past here, there's very few signs of bullish engulfing candles. If this one does occur, there's a stronger chance the price will continue higher from here, okay? Now again, bullish engulfing candles are just more of a trend reversal, so to speak. It's not necessarily like a definitive, the price is going to shoot to the moon because of it. It's just a really good candlestick pattern to kind of pay attention to. Stochastic RSI is swinging up. This is a very good sign. We like to see that. That goes concurrent with the bullish engulfing candle. Traditional RSI at or above 50 right now, okay? Again, candlestick closure, 95 or higher today. We should be in good shape to see that continue upwards. Traditional RSI is low, money flow index is low, but it's actually okay because we want the MFI to be lower than the RSI. That way, people consider it as a good value. Because again, more money's coming out of this coin. That means more money is going to come back into it once it becomes trendy, if you will. And the trend right now is trying to reverse itself. So MACD is also diverging, but we're seeing a plateau here, okay? So keep in mind the MACD, if you wait for the daily MACD to converge, you probably be late to the party. That's just how the MACD works. It's a very slow series of moving averages, basically a 12 intersecting with a 26 in upward fashion or downward effectively. And when you get those two together, it's a good thing, but we don't want to wait days to take a trade, right? We want to consider getting in early-ish, and that is not confirming bullish or bearish. It's just kind of telling us that we're slowing our momentum to the downside. 4-hour time frame is a better moving average to consider. Okay, so this here MACD, strong consideration for a long position based on the fact that we do actually have a convergence. We had an MACD FU here recently, quite a few of them on the way down, and this is our first official convergence. So again, pending this 4-hour candle doesn't close below 95, we should be in pretty good shape to see that continue higher. Taking a look here at traditional RSI, we're not above 50 yet, but we're testing that level. Keep in mind that's somewhat of a resistance, okay? So it does imply that this $95, $96 range is somewhat of a resistance there, and that stochastic RSI, while it's swinging up very strong, we're not quite out of the woods yet, but we're getting very close. Again, we broke, the key here to me on the 4-hour time frame is that we broke above this most recent low, and now we're establishing ourselves back in that foothold, if you will. Again, is this the beginning of a power of 3? There's a good chance of that. We got this lower liquidity sweep followed by an expansion phase. So we're looking for that expansion to break this most recent high, and right now we're parallel with the most recent high, and that's a good sign. Okay, so again, not out of the woods yet, but definitely getting close. We take a look at the moving averages. We can see we're testing the 20-day SMA, but the 200 somewhat held. We're still below the 50 and the 100, so there's no doubt that we're not like in perfect shape right now. We're definitely looking better, and with Bitcoin stabilizing at that 45K mark, I think we're looking okay here. We've also broken this descending trend line as well, which is important. We're no longer making lower lows and lower highs. We finally broke free from that, of course, and while this higher high pattern here is not fully confirmed, it's still a very, very good start. So the key here is, as long as we don't close below like 93 today, we should be in pretty good shape. Because again, this most recent low, even if we pull that down a little bit, just say 92 to 93, we should get that, should be that pivot point, right, where the price action bounces and continues higher. We do take a look at T sequential. This is going to probably run concurrent with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at a 9. Oddly enough, we're actually at a 5 here. So good news is we have more potential to run here with Solana, and with Bitcoin again stabilizing, we're looking pretty good shape. Very last thing, again, this is a confirming factor. We're not quite there yet, but I would even recommend considering getting in early. I don't normally do that, but the way things are looking, we're looking pretty green on the overall sense. Again, the only thing that could happen is if there's some kind of crazy denial with the ETF, for example, which is no news yet, then we will see probably the price pull back. So again, please, low leverage, low position sizing. If you consider an entry right now, that's what we're probably planning to do here. But we can see we got a large amount of volume here at this $94, $95 mark. But more important, with us getting closer to the cloud here, the lagging span is almost free and clear of the price action. Conversion lines above the baseline. We're right on the verge of greatness here. So hypothetically, if the price goes sideways, just say for example, then we'd be fine here in about 4 to 8 hours to be able to consider a long position. I should probably more like 12 hours just to be safe, but generally speaking, the price comes over to this area, we're going to be looking good. And the great thing is, as long as we stay above this level here at about 93, we should be in good shape to take an entry confidently. So to me, an entry between 93 and 95 seems appropriate at this point, just based on the overall sense of where things are going here. There's a lot of positive contributing factors, but again, just to be clear, there is not a definitive, like, this is a perfect situation. Okay? Now, you rarely find perfect situations, but this has mostly positive contributing factors, and with its history and how well it's done, and the fact that we're converging on the MACD on the 4-hour time frame and a handful of other factors, we've got some heavier influences here letting us know the price should continue higher. So awesome stuff there. What are your thoughts? Comment below. I'd love to hear it. Please also make sure you register for this if you haven't yet already. The link is down below, of course, but it's also available in our Discord promo section here if you're curious. But Bitunix is offering a trading competition, their first ever, and it's phenomenal. All you gotta do is hit join now and you're eligible, but you had to have used my link to register. Okay, so make sure you use my link to register if you haven't yet. Great rewards available too there, but the main reason why we love them is because they have no KYC or VPN requirements, and they're doing really awesome. So phenomenal exchange for our community and just anyone interested. Be sure to check that out. I do hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.